If you found your way here, thank you for being here. This work doesn't exist without you listening, sharing, and staying connected. If this podcast resonates with you, subscribing helps more than you might realize. It keeps the conversation going, it keeps the work honest, and it helps this reach the people who are quietly looking for it. This is This Tree and Me. Today's episode is called The Ego Doesn't Leave, It Waits. There's a difference between getting inspired and actually healing. There's a difference between feeling motivated and being prepared for when life changes. Most of us have been taught to push through fear, rise above pain, outwork resistance, and keep moving forward. And that works for a while until something shifts. A relationship ends, a career changes, a child leaves home, a loss arrives without warning. And suddenly, the thing we thought we moved past, it shows back up. Not because we failed, but because it was never healed. The ego doesn't disappear when we succeed. It doesn't vanish when we grow. It waits quietly for the moment we're no longer distracted by momentum. And today, I want to talk about the difference between motivation, inspiration, and true healing. Not to dismiss any of them, but to tell the truth about what actually lasts. Motivation helps you move. Inspiration helps you see. Healing helps you stay whole. Motivation pushes you through resistance. Healing listens to it. Inspiration gives you vision. Healing gives you stability. This episode is not about rejecting motivation or inspiration. It's about understanding their limits. We're taught that if we think differently, that if we push harder or believe enough, the ego will shrink. That success will silence it. That discipline will overpower it. That enlightenment will erase it. But the ego never leaves. It just doesn't. It adapts. If it isn't healed, it'll wait. It'll wait in the background for stress, for loss, transition, or vulnerability. This is where people say, I've done therapy. I've done the work. I've healed. And yet the same relationships repeat. The same patterns return. The same reactions surface. Not because they didn't try, but because they learned how to cope. They didn't heal. I've had so many people that I work with, or friends or family, that talk about, why do I keep coming back to this? I'm going to therapy, Corey. I've been through this. I've healed. I've taken the plant medicine. Whatever alternative or actual true medical therapy they've went through, whatever path they've chosen to do their healing in, it doesn't seem to work. It doesn't seem to last. It doesn't seem to stick. And I hear this so often. And again, it's not that they're not trying. They want to heal. They want to get out of pain and suffering. But they just do, as I have done, what society is promoting, what society tells you to do. Hey, if you go to therapy, it'll change everything. It helps. And it does help. Hey, if you go try some plant medicine, go try some ayahuasca, go do some mushrooms, whatever the plant medicine may be, it'll give you all the answers you need. I've done all of those. They give you visions, they give you questions, they give you understanding of things, but they don't do the daily work for you. Hey, go work out, go lose weight, right? That'll get you where you need to go. But if all you're doing is looking for external to change you inside, that's just not a place that's going to happen in. You must change yourself from within. Healing comes from within you, nothing external. And all those things are great. I still do some of them. I've tried all of them. The one thing through my practices and what I've been learning and what I'm teaching, that's what's sticking. Healing is not erasing the ego either. So let's be very clear about that. Healing is a relationship. The ego is not the enemy. It is simply scared. It's hurt. It's all the protective parts of you. Healing is listening without judgment. It's creating safety internally, a safe place for everyone to be heard, for everyone to be seen, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's allowing pain to be felt. And this is something that we all run from. We've been taught to, we've been told to. Hey, we can dissipate the ego. We can dissolve the ego. We can kill the ego, right? That's a big term, kill the ego. You have to feel the pain. You have to understand the pain. You have to teach the ego that it no longer has to protect through fear. It doesn't have to live in a constant state of fear, pain, and suffering. But that's all it knows. That's all it's been taught. That's all it's been allowed to do. And in your mind, in the ego's way of telling the stories, it brings you into this of, hey, we're getting through this. So you've got to get beyond that barrier, and you've got to feel the pain inside, and you've got to listen to your ego and every part of it. And every time something triggers it, what's going on? And it's a practice. It's a daily practice. It's not motivation. It's not inspiration. And those are great things. I listen to those things too. I listen to I am affirmations. I listen to a lot of these things. I've learned how to listen to them a little differently though. I've learned to see where they are true and honest and uplifting. Hey, go get it. Don't let yourself take no for an answer. All those things are true, but none of them talk about healing. Everything in today's society and world and therapy and all the books, all the motivational videos you want to watch, all of this, a high percentage, all tell you how to just push through, go through, fight the ego, get rid of the ego. But it waits. And it will come back. Because if you're not doing the daily work, the quiet work, the uncelebrated work, it's just waiting. It's waiting for its opportunity to come back in. You have to learn to listen. Listen to what's surfacing, not what's convenient. You have to allow the body and the emotions to speak without interruption. And that's a hard one sometimes, because you feel that feeling and you want to push it aside. You want to get out of it. And you've been taught to ignore it. Hey, you'll be okay. Get through it. Hey, life goes on. Life is tough. Blah, all the little sayings that people tell you, your parents maybe, whoever, that have told you all throughout your life, that then is ingrained in your head that, hey, nope, I'm not going to feel that. I'm going to go run. I'm not going to feel that. I'm going to go eat. I'm not going to feel that. I'm going to go something other than sitting with it. You have to feel that pain. You have to allow your body and the emotions within your body to speak without any interruption. Let them tell you what's going on. And that's where then you listen to them. And once you get there, then you can follow. You can follow the path that leads to integration, not escape. You have to integrate all the parts within you. Just to give you a little context, I just finally had a new part of me realized. And it was the toughest one. And it was the one that needs the most healing. It's the one that was hiding behind everything else, waiting to see if it could come out, waiting to see if it trusted me, waiting to see if that space was truly being allowed for him to come out and say, hey, here I am. I hear him. I feel him. But I wasn't truly listening for a long time. And I wasn't allowing him to have that space. None of them. But as I've been writing and posting, if you've been following me, and I appreciate it if you haven't. If you haven't, hey, come join the journey. It's a beautiful ride. I've been in a lull lately, right? My body just been feeling heavy. My heart's been feeling a little bit heavy. And that was the turning point. That was him slowly stepping into that space. Again, I've talked about this in the past. When you start doing this work, it's okay when something's so heavy and you get so scared and your ego gets so loud to say, hey, I am not ready for this. I am not in a space to where I can handle that task. That's massive. I'm not ready. And that's okay. This isn't about a magic fix. This isn't about all of a sudden I push through something and here I am. This takes time. This takes love, compassion, grace. It takes building trust with all the parts of your ecosystem. So I've talked about little Corey, the little one who was just free to live the world and run and play and be himself and his protector. I've talked about Rigo and his protector, the mullet from high school and young adulthood, who was the cool guy who wanted to fit in everywhere and be the life of the party, right? And partied way too much. And I talked about Big Daddy and his protector, the adult, the one who became a father, a husband, got into the workforce, was trying to build and create a family life. And then we talked about coach and where coaches evolved to now, which is I'm still a coach. And that's the way I see myself. That version of me is still existing. I'm just learning how to transition him from the coach I was to the coach I am. But there's something missing. And I kept feeling it. I knew it in my bones. And it was the poet. And just a few days ago, he came to me. He finally stepped out. And he is that kid that was hurt, that was developed through a very large pain in my life. And then he was also capped off by the losing of my grandfather, which was, he was everything to me for a while. He's kind of all I had in my mind. I still had my father. He was still alive, but he had children. He had a life. He had work. He traveled a lot. He did his best, and he was a great father. But I needed more, and that was my grandpa. And he died. And it was one of those unseen deaths. Didn't see it coming. And it crumbled me. So after the first one, I was fighting through it with Grandpa. Grandpa was still in my life. And then when that happened, I felt I was alone. And the poet just buried himself so deep. I mean, beyond the depth of understanding. But as I've been doing this work, it was a lot easier to get attached to the ones that were less traumatized, that were different versions of me throughout different parts of my life. Like the little Corey, I mean, he was the first one. He came out on one of my spiritual journeys. It was beautiful. Coach, Rigo, right? All of those guys kind of came out. Rigo was next. All those guys kind of came out as they felt safe. But it started from building from a place of trust and understanding listening to them, allowing them to be free to express themselves and not be judged and shamed, letting them know I'm here for them, I want to heal with them, and that I'm not trying to get rid of them. Because it's not possible. That's the biggest lesson that I've learned through all this. You cannot kill or destroy your ego. And I understand that's a popular belief that people truly think they can. Because we've been told that, we read about that, we see that on YouTube videos, wherever, right? We see it all over the place. And it's just not possible. Because when your life gets quiet, when it gets a little bit messy, when empty nest happens, divorce, whatever that situation is, why does that cycle return? When you go from one relationship to another, when you go from one job to whatever it is, and the situation is great at first and then becomes the same, success does not kill your ego. Healing does not destroy your ego. Therapy, plant medicine, it just doesn't happen. So what I've learned, it's about healing and becoming one with your ego. You can succeed without healing, but you can't stay grounded without it. Eventually, life will slow down, and whatever hasn't been healed steps forward, and it gets louder because it's been hiding for a while. It's been waiting for that moment to step in front and say, I am not gone. Here I am. I am out. It waits. It has patience. And once you allow it to come back out, it's harder. Life even gets a little messier. The ego gets stronger within you. You start speaking a lot more as your ego and all the parts that are hurt and destroyed in you, because you hit them, because you try to suppress them, because you try to go past them without healing them. It's basically, if you want to think of it this way, you're basically thinking of standing next to all the parts of you, whatever you find within you. I would love to help you with this. It's a beautiful system within you. But just imagine you're standing next to the smallest version of you, to teenage, whatever, however you want to look at it. Let's just look at mine. I'm standing next to little Corey, Rigo, Big Daddy, Coach. And I'm just like, get out of the way. I'm more important than you. That's what the ego is. That's what you're doing to the ego when you're trying to kill it, when you're trying to destroy it. You're actually trying to kill and destroy parts of you. Those parts of you are what made you. Those traumas, those events, those failures, those successes and joys, all of that makes you whole. That's what makes you whole. Nothing outside, right? The whole relationship. I need to find my other half. You complete me. All those things. No, it's all within you. But so imagine if you're standing with a bunch of your loved ones, literally in life, at whatever you want, at a family reunion, a family event, whatever, a friendship group, and people just keep pushing you behind, like, your voice doesn't matter. We don't care what you say. Yeah, you're here, but we don't really care. That's what you're doing to yourself. That's what you are doing to yourself when you're doing that to your ego. And that's what I found. And I found healing it is the answer. Healing with it. Becoming one with it. Becoming whole with it. All the parts. Not just one or two. However many parts you find within you, how many different versions of yourself you find within you. Healing each one of them as they need. Letting them lead you to what they need. Letting them tell you what they need. Following them. That's what leadership is. Serving. Helping others to help them become better. To help them become what they need to be. And all you're doing that is with yourself. It doesn't stop at success. Healing just doesn't stop success. It sustains it. It makes it pure and true, and It allows it to have sustainability. It allows it to be generational. Whatever you value, whatever you measure success as, healing your ecosystem and all the parts within you, that's what creates generational healing. That's what creates generational health. Wealth, all the other things, whatever you want to pursue, will then become easier. Sustainable is probably the best word for it, because you're not fighting inside anymore. You're still going to have struggles. Healing never stops. It's always going to try to come back. But once you learn how to speak to it, once you learn how to coincide in yourself with it, to live with it, to understand why it's troubled, why it's pain, and why this new event all of a sudden, that's why it keeps getting triggered, right? You might have stepped through one wall of fear. I'll just use me for an example again. I finally got in front of the camera and started doing podcasting, and we'll just stick with podcasting and forget the other stuff. We'll make it simple. It took me a long time from this time that I first envisioned this and first thought about doing this to getting in front of the camera. Then I got in front of it, and I'm working to get better at it. And I know I've got a lot of room to go, and that's fine, but I'm doing it. So it takes less courage now to get in front of it. So, okay, so now you're feeling comfortable. Okay, here comes the ego again. Boom. What's next? Oh, you need to go do this now. That's the next step. That's the next evolution. That's the next growth. Well, why did that get triggered? Didn't I deal with that the first time when I just stepped in front of the camera and started podcasting? No, it's always going to be there. Whatever triggers that event of your past, that trauma, that version of you, it's going to show up the next step you take. But what you learn is, one, I can step into it. I know I can do hard things. And two, if it doesn't kill me, the whole saying, right? It makes me stronger, but I learn from it. I grow from it. Fear isn't fear. Fear is not death. Fear is not the end of the game. Fear is not failure. It's just fear. So if all I have to do is step through fear, think about this. If you were walking down the street and you were in the middle of what you felt like was hell, well, however you would close your eyes and envision hell, you don't have to believe in it to understand the concept and go that route. The worst possible living scenario you could ever be imagined stuck in. Would you stay? Or would you fight and claw and run and do whatever you needed to do to break through? It's the same kind of a concept, right? It's just a visual version of now, okay, I can see that. I wouldn't stand in the middle of it and just be like, yep, here's where I'm at. But that's what the ego does to us. And without healing it and getting to have a relationship with it and understanding why it is the way it is, you'll never be able to make those steps. You'll never even be able to take that first step. Again, I was in my 50s before I made the first step. I thought in the past I was making steps. I've lost weight. I've went to therapy multiple times. I've done different kinds of spiritual retreats and plant medicines and things. And I thought I was doing the work. And I'd get a new relationship. I do this, right? I've held a good career. I wasn't truly healing. I was just going through the motions and pushing through whatever was in me at that time. And it helped. Do not mistake that I'm saying therapy and all these other self-help tools are not good. They are. They're beneficial. And as I said, I still do a lot of them today. It's important to be able to speak to somebody. It's important to have somebody to bounce things off of and just get it out, other than yourself and your own mind. But that's not the end of it. It doesn't stop at an hour a week or an hour every 2 weeks or whatever your pattern is or whatever your therapy is. It doesn't stop there. It's every day. Understanding that I'm going to do this every day of my life. It's work. It can be a lot. But I hope you can see the smile on my face for right now. And the people who aren't watching and are listening, I'm okay with the struggle because it's a different struggle. It doesn't hurt the way it used to hurt. It doesn't feel like I'm at the bottom of a barrel that I can't get out of, or I'm jumping off a cliff and I have no parachute. I understand that pain and struggle are still going to be a part of my life, but I also understand that if I just keep stepping through it, I'm going to be okay. No matter what the end result is, no matter if the journey is successful or unsuccessful, I've learned, I've grown, and I've went through it, and I'm on the other side. And that's just a beautiful thing. So ask yourself, where am I motivated, but not healed? What keeps repeating that I thought was behind me? And what part of me is still protecting instead of trusting? What part of me is still protecting instead of trusting? I'll say it again since I can't read very well. Where am I motivated, but not healed? Where do I feel, to give example, that I'm having success and I'm motivated through it, but for some reason I keep cycling in the same kind of a pattern in it. So it's not healed. Really think about that. Where am I motivated? Where am I success driven in an aspect, but not truly healed when I put myself in that situation and think about it? What keeps repeating? This is a big one for me. What keeps repeating that I thought was behind me? These all kind of go together. That is the cycle. That is the pattern that I need people to see. That is the pattern that I hear with my clients and the people I work with, friends, family, loved ones as well. They come to me, Corey, I've been going to therapy for a year now and I keep going down the same paths. Corey, I've been working out all the time, this and that, but I keep repeating the same cycle in relationships or whatever their story is. It's because you're not healing it. You're pushing through it. You're inspired. You're motivated. You're working hard. You're not failing. You have to understand all those things. You're not healing. And you're not trying to understand. Better way to say it. You haven't been taught that the ego is a part of you and it's never going to be gone. You will have your ego until the day you go beyond this earth. Beyond that, I have no idea. I have my beliefs of what happens after death, but I don't know. I won't know until that happens. But as long as you're walking this earth, your ego is going to be a part of you and it's going to fight you and it's going to push you and it's going to poke at you. But the one thing that I've learned in all this, it's a lot less scary when you understand why it's doing it and you can sit with it, have a conversation with it, let it know you're there to love it, be compassionate, and help it understand there's more to life than pain and fear and suffering. And the reason I get this sheepishly grin smile when I say those things is because you're doing that for yourself. When you're doing this to the parts of your ego that are giving you the pain and the suffering, you're just healing yourself. You're loving yourself, showing yourself compassion. And it's when I start thinking of that actually gives me a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of fear. And it's weird. It shouldn't, but for so long, I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't understand what it meant to love myself. I sought, again, sorry for the wording. I sought love, admiration, all of that externally. That I thought was how I felt it for myself. And once you start feeling it from within, you don't need it from external. It feels great from external. You still love it, but you can appreciate it more and you can accept it more, and then you can give it. You can fill up with so much for yourself you can give to others freely and not worry about what they're giving you back. And that is an absolutely beautiful thing. But I want you to sit with these three. Where am I motivated but not healed? What keeps repeating that I thought was behind me? And what part of me is still protecting instead of trusting? No fixing it, no forcing it. Just honesty. Just listen to it. Give it the space to be free from shame, judgment, self-doubt, and let it be free to speak. Motivation can help you move forward. Inspiration can lift you higher. Healing is what lets you stay present when life changes. The ego doesn't leave, it waits. And when you stop fighting it, you can finally heal it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this work with me. I am Corey J. Riggs. I love you all. Be blessed.